Hello again and welcome back to another one. And today we have a couple of topics to cover, from one that shows the game isn't off the hook as of yet, as game is still getting dragged for the Black Slim Shady, as this hit Facebook that blew up and sparked conversations across social media platforms. And you know it is bad when it hits Facebook, that's also known in some ways as the Internet Explorer of social media, and we'll expand on this in a moment. Today we also have more that's come from the backlash that Doechii's been facing after a snippet hit the web of her dating red flag.
What's my biggest dating red flag? This is a huge red flag for me. All right. You know what's so crazy? I was gonna say men.
And we'll expand on this in a moment. And we also got more, this time from Elliot Wilson, about the Conan O'Brien joke at the Oscars linked to Kendrick versus Drake.
Well, we're halfway through the show, which means it's time for Kendrick Lamar to come out and call Drake a pedophile.
And Elliot Wilson isn't a fan of the joke. Check out a snippet from the Bigger Picture podcast.
It didn't make me laugh. I get that it could be constructed as like a clever written joke. Like, okay,
you know what nigga wrote the joke though?
Huh?
You know what nigga wrote the joke?
Nigga didn't write a funny joke. It wasn't funny. Nigga, that wasn't funny. That's my point. Because it's about, like, I get the structuring, right? It's like, because I'm a writer. I don't know if you guys know.
Yeah.
It's a big award ceremony. It's a big moment. So, of course, something has to happen where Kendrick has a moment where he's calling Drake a pedophile. Like, I get that, right? Because we saw it at the Super Bowl, saw it at the Grammys. And then he thinks the killer line is to say, and I'm lawyered up. Like, he thinks that's going to be the killer line. The Conan's going to say, I'm lawyered up.
That was funny.
And then no, that shit was not funny, man.
The lawyer was funny to me. I smiled.
No, but that's not. But see, that's not good enough for me as a joke, especially if it's controversial.
It's humorous.
No, you don't laugh. You have to, for humorous to me, you have to actually laugh. Something has to come out of your system where you laugh. You can smile. It's like, that's clever.
So
that's not funny.
Something can be humorous without you laughing about it.
But I think if it's volatile and offensive type material, that shit has to land. If you say you're gonna have sex with Kendrick Lamar and you're a male comedian, white male, that shit gotta be funny. That shit was not funny. When Andrew did a bit about the Diddy Meek Mill shit, that shit was funny. And we laughed out loud. And that shit was oh shit, that's crazy. It's comedy club.
So
niggas don't go to the club for smiles, they want laughs.
Or claps these days.
Yo, the way Head smiled at me, I knew that joke really landed.
It depends on
a bunch of smiling motherfuckers looking at me.
Are they stoic?
A comedy club full of DJ
I don't want
heads would be
stoicness at the comedy club
for a comedian. That would be torture.
Well, you know how we laugh at shit? Gen Z, millennial Gen Zs, how we laugh at shit is we say one word. Hilarious.
Spooky.
See, that's not laughing. That's not comedy. That's not comedy, my G.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why I didn't repost it. So we can say I'm so anti-Drake. I didn't fucking grab the low-hanging fruit. I didn't repost Conan's shit. Oh my God, Conan got that off. That shit was corny. It looked like outsiders of the culture trying to attach themselves to culture. I think it's offensive to Drake and Kendrick. It's not cool. It's whack.
I didn't like the hypocrisy
Conan
I saw.
do look kind of scary, right?
But when you
not saying Conan isn't a brilliant, smart comedian. I think he did a great job overall as the host, but that joke wasn't cool.
Jay.
They're not a part of the conversation. We made Super Bowl part of our conversation. We made the Grammys part of our conversation. The Oscars, besides the Gold Party, if you want to segue, is the only connection to that with that culture. And like, that's the point. It's like,
I feel you. I'm just
you're not
talking
connected
shit.
to us. You ain't feeding us and like connect to us. And bottom line again, the shit just wasn't funny to me.
And to be honest, this is only the beginning, because Not Like Us has gone beyond the culture. The cat's already out of the bag, so expect a lot more quote outsiders to weigh in, and the responses are all over the place right now. On one end, some agree with Elliot Wilson. Yeah, Elliot got this right. Felt like they were mocking rap as a whole just to get a cheap joke off. While on the other end, some believe, I guess they see that the lawsuit is proceeding. The Grammys deleted the audio, and they are trying to distance themselves and sanitize their thoughts and words. Also, whites target blacks once they see you target your own, and they will use your own to do it. These people are idiots. And we got this one. The host makes fun of all current events. Like it or not, that beef went super mainstream. It became a pop culture event. Then it was brought to the Super Bowl, which made it even more mainstream. If it wasn't mentioned, it would have been a slap in the face to the culture. And like I said, the responses are all over the place, as we got more, welp, when black people attack black people, who wins? White people, lol. Kendrick said he didn't care about being famous. Well, unfortunately, this is what he'll be known for in mainstream culture now. And for some users, this got personal real quick. Talking about an outsider invading the culture while sitting there with an outsider discussing the culture is crazy. Talk about a Jeremy Hecht stray. But overall, I'll be looking forward to your thoughts on this one. Do you agree with Elliot Wilson? And personally, I believe that after the Super Bowl performance, we should expect more quote outsiders sharing their thoughts on the beef. This comes with such publicity, so this should be expected, in my opinion. And moving on to the next point, if you were with us for the last one, you remember that Doechii has been facing backlash for the comments she made about a straight man being a red flag when dating, and boy, they continue to pile on Doechii as posts like these keep blowing up on X. Garbage music, industry plant, makes music for those people, bots monthly listeners on Spotify, dudes be making anybody famous. And this one blew up hours ago. Doechii raps.
Yo. Cinnamon, cinnamon, off, rimming, feminine, off, venom, and heart, venom, and cinnamon, off.
You think this shit is cool? Nah, man. Ooh.
And you wouldn't believe the response to this that went viral. No way they're giving Doechii the Eminem treatment.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
And this has been flipped. If a rapper gets the Eminem treatment, that's how you know they're gonna be great. Doechii will be classic. However, the pile-on continues. Nothing about Doechii's rise to fame looks organic, so it's pretty easy to ignore the weird-ish she be doing. LOL. And the conversation has now shifted to social issues and colorism, as this went viral a few hours ago. Y'all don't even date women, Doechii's complexion, and make it known every day, so shut the F up. And this one shifted the conversation to colorism, as you'd expect, and we got some users trying to explain the backlash. That Doechii conversation is way deeper than the way dudes want to simplify it. If a rapper said a red flag for him is a dark-skinned woman, his career is over and gonna be bashed for the rest of his existence. Nobody gonna be like he trolling or it's his dating preference. And I'll be looking forward to your thoughts on this debate. And moving on to the next point, we got a couple of new updates linked to Eminem. For instance, it made headlines when Eminem earned 5 spots on the official R&B and hip-hop charts in the United Kingdom this week. Check it out from Forbes. Eminem brings multiple huge albums back to the same chart, and this week, as it stands, Eminem and Kendrick occupy over 25% of the entire chart. 6 albums for Kendrick and 5 albums for Eminem. And you wouldn't believe Eminem's highest charting album right now on the official hip-hop and R&B albums chart, Encore. And the death of Slim Shady follows the expected curtain call the hits, The Eminem Show, and the Marshall Mathers LP, making it 5 albums on this week's chart. And over on X, some have concluded no American artist can compete with Eminem in the United Kingdom this century. And notice it says no American artist rather than no hip-hop artist, because this is across all genres of music this century. And moving on to the next one, The Game isn't off the hook for the Black Slim Shady that ended up as one of the biggest flopped diss tracks aimed at Eminem ever, to the point that it hit Facebook that sparked posts like, "If you ever feel like a loser, just remember that the rapper The Game dropped a whole 6-minute Eminem diss track called The Black Slim Shady, and the whole hip-hop world ignored him like it is nothing." And this conversation made its way to Reddit, and they added insult to injury. He even mentioned Haley, and M still ignored him. And to this, a user expanded, "Most streamed song on the album, and the album did horrible. The worst of it all is, Game's a good rapper. He makes good music. If the idiot could get out of his own way, his career wouldn't have went to crap." And for some reason, Royce was down there catching some strays. Same with Royce the 5'9", good rapper, but he's also an idiot. But some have hit back with, "M did respond on Realist though. Game said, I never heard you in a club. I never heard you in a bar." And M said, "And that is the only retort is, I'm not played in the clubs. MFA put a cork in it. Only reason they still play your ish in the clubs is cause you still perform in them." And while even Game believed this was Eminem responding to him,
it was never really no malice. It was more a hip hop thing. He was the top dog, and I tend to do that. Even on my last album with, throwing shots at Eminem and beefing with Eminem, it was just me being upset with Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre can't out-rap me. It ain't like I'm gonna see M and be like, what's up now? You know what I'm saying? It's M. You know what I'm saying? And then M took his shots on a record that dropped. And M is a funny guy. He responded. Our game can always get him to respond, man.
If I recall, Eminem associate Mr. Porter cleared it up that it was more of a general bar than a swipe at the game. Someone cleared this up in the comment section if I'm mistaken, and they kept roasting the game. It sucks because as an artist, Game is pretty dope and has some fantastic albums. As a person, he's absolute dog crap. And moving on to the next point, we got to hear from Redman, who shared Eminem's reaction to his new album, Muddy Waters 2.
So you said, rap, I'm dope at it. The first mile like rabbit, you're gonna choke at it. 8 Mile. Yeah. Eminem, I know he's talked about you being his favorite rapper, but what's the highest compliment you've gotten from a peer?
Yeah, shout out to my boy Theory Has It too, that produced the track. I co-produced it with him too as well. Like, yo, I'm not gonna lie, Eminem, first of all, a lot of West Coast dudes hit me on the album. More than the East. More than the East Coast. I don't know if it was the tension I brought on the East, but yo, a lot of West Coast dudes hit me about the album, and I'm not gonna lie, Exhibit and Eminem, Eminem, me and him was texting for 3 hours one day. While I was in the gym, while I went to this appointment, he was actually listening to the album, texting me in between each song, after each song, for 3 hours straight. 3 hours straight. That's my young bro. Like, M, you already know you my young bro, but it was amazing because he was like, yo, you said this? Oh, I quit. But he gave me so much energy, and then when me and X text, he was just letting me know, like, yo, bro, that's what I'm talking about. In other words, you sticking to your sound, bro. And I'll be trying. In other words, he's been trying to tell some of these cats he work with or know, like, yo, stick to your sound. That is what wins. So he gave me a confirmation on I was doing my job. And honestly, that's the only thing I needed because he top tier. Eminem is top tier. If I don't hear from nobody else, really, I'm fine with it. So, like, these two, like M and X, they really gave it to me, bro.
Red, you don't need nobody's approval.
Exactly, and I didn't call them for my approval. They hit me like, yo, bro. And I seen X post like, yo, this album, and I was like, okay, this is a dope-ass MC right here.
It takes no seconds to support something that's real, something that sparks you.
And this snippet has sparked reactions like, that's what makes Eminem one of the greatest to ever do it. He's still a fan of the genre and a student of the game above everything. He mentioned before that he listens to basically every rap album that comes out. And some users remember Redman expressed interest in another collab with M in December while talking about Off the Wall. So I really hope M finds a spot for him on a song. They make a really fun pair. And that will be all for today, and I'll be looking forward to your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next one.